To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Lockhart Perspective. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.
Here we go. It wouldn't be me without it. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to ask you guys today about a couple of 2 or 3 topics. It's not going to be a lot, but we are going to chat about a couple of things in the news. We're going to do it a little different, though. We are going to read them. And after we read them, we are then going to talk about them. Now, first of all, I want to say hello to everybody that is here in the chat today. Thank you for being here. Love you all loads. But I want to ask you guys something. Put it in the chat if you guys know what I'm talking about. How many times have we all said to ourselves when a president is in office, he goes in looking one way, and then what happens to him? What happens to him? His hair, gets a little more gray. Tell me about it. Let me look in the chat and see what you guys got to say, because I hope you guys are right there with me. Because what I want to show you guys is something that is very telling. And it's not what we're going to think, y'all. It ain't what we think. What I'm going to show y'all right now is something that is so very telling. Let's see. Aging. Yes. Yes. William. Yes. Hello, Father. It's fine now. Thank you, Precious. And thank you. Because, girl, I be jacking stuff up. President comes out looking older. Yes, that's so right. Yes. Derek, hey, baby. He turns he turns into Yoda. Maureen said he turns into Yoda. All right, you guys. Here is what I want to ask you guys. Hold on, let me let you see this. I'm going to pull this for you. I'm going to share the screen, and I want to see if it's this one. Oh, what's up with this man? Where he been? First of all, I want to ask y'all, what he been doing, baby? Where he been at? Do y'all see this brother right here? Can y'all see this cat? What have I been saying for a while? I've been saying that somebody else is behind that curtain. We all been saying it, every single one of us. Let me make this a little bigger so that we can all see it together. All right? Let me make it a little larger. It's up at 170 now. Let me see if I make it bigger here. Can you guys see that any better? All right. Do you look? Okay, let me get my rump up off the screen. Let me just give it to him whole screen. Do you see this cat? Do you see that hair? Now, wait a minute. Now, what happened to the famous adage, black don't crack? Whatever happened to that? I mean, I don't mean, look, I'm just trying to say. Now, listen, he ain't in office, right? So when he left with the amount of gray that he had, I mean, it would appear to me that he would not age anymore. So what are you saying, Felicia? I'm saying this cat's still there. Got his place down. Oh, can this make it a bigger picture? No, it can't. Oh, yeah, it can. Can this make it bigger? Can this make it bigger? No, that'll do a visual search for it. But what it is it's telling us that this cat is still in there. Remember Where did he go off to as soon as he left? And I'm not trying to give them no advertisement for this bra for women over 45. Lord of mercy. What they trying to tell you. Let me see, can I do this and see what'll happen? No, it won't let me. So I'm gonna come off of this. Let me come off of this because they just got to give us that advertisement. But nonetheless, I'm sorry to say it, but this cat looks like he's been run through the ringer. Look at the hair only. Not that, and look at the skin, look at the face. That doesn't look like somebody who's gone on and the most his vacations have cost him has done this to him. This dude right here is down the street. That's the reason why that place on Pennsylvania Avenue is allegedly empty. Okay? Hey, be cool. Okay? So I'm thinking homeboy has been really running amok, or they've been running him over. All right. He may have signed up for something and got himself involved in something, but we clearly know who ain't running this place. All right. And he ain't either. Anyway, I just thought I got to say that. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. All right. Let me just come off the full screen. Now, since we're just hitting and missing topics, we're going to talk about another topic. And that was just that one because that just hit me when I was looking for some stuff. But what I do want to talk about today is what's on your dinner plate, what's allegedly attempting to come to all of our dinner plates, right? We all know it. We've all been talking about it. We've all been seeing the progression that they were going from the fake meat. And we've actually even covered stories here on the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice that was showing them doing small little bitty meat or meat pie size servings of human flesh in the form of your favorite star. If you guys remember back to those stories that we did live last year. So we know what's been going on, but how about now we're looking at meat. Let me find it up here. Here it is. Okay. So there, we're going to cover a couple of stories, but the one that I'm going to look at first is going to be this one right here. All righty, we're going to stop that screen. I'm going to give you another one because this right here is 3D printing of the meats. We have the meats, 3D printing. So we're going to start here. Just look at it because the question is, why? Why do you have to go through all of this? I'm going to give you guys the whole screen so y'all can see exactly where we are. All right, so new 3D printing ink could make cultured meat more cost effective. So now not only are we going to stuff your body, allegedly, full of cultured meat, we're also going to stick a whole bunch of printing ink in it. So now what are they going to do? They are going to figure out a way to cause you more disease because whether you know it or not, what is going on right now is all of the additives and everything that's going inside of these meats and these foods and these beverages and every single thing that you can see, that stuff has an effect on the body. Why? Because you are a human, all right? You're a human, and you should only eat things that humans can break down and assimilate and dispose of physically. So now what this is doing is making sure that they attempt to allegedly whack off the rest of the humans that are going to be left based on where it is that they're going. And believe me, we're going to touch that today too. So now you got the 3D meat printing. Let's get into this. Let's just check it out. Cultured meat, also known as cell-based or lab-grown meat, is a promising, more environmentally friendly alternative to meat produced from traditional livestock farming. However, production costs are still high and need to be reduced before it can become widely available. Now, researchers from Singapore and China have found a way to use food waste for culturing meat, reducing production costs and helping to make cultured meat a viable option for feeding the world's population. Well, of course, if China and Singapore are in on it, let us have it. To produce cultured meat, animal muscle stem cells are grown on a scaffold, which improves the environment for the cells by enabling the transport of nutrients and allows the generation of texture and structure. Without it, the meat is more likely to reassemble lumpy mashed potatoes. Unique scaffolds can be created using an emerging 3D printing technology, the electrochromic dynamic EHD printing. As the scaffolds become a part of the meat product, they need to be edible, so are generally made of animal products such as gelatin and collagen or synthetic materials, but are expensive to produce. Finding these effective edible links for printing is one of the main challenges in producing cultured meat. In a recent study published in Advanced Materials, researchers have developed edible plant-based ink that is derived from food waste. Food waste, such as cereal husks. But let me ask you a quick question. Do we have any real cereal? Is there anything that's real anymore? So where is this real coming from? The new ink can be fully absorbed into meat product and is cheap to produce, so it could significantly reduce the cost of large-scale cultured meat production. Professor Sun from Jiaotong Liverpool University, China, and the author of the study says, quote, "We have optimized our plant-based ink for 3D printing technology so that we can print scaffolds and place muscle stem cells on them. The cells can then grow with the structure of the scaffold, and we use beets to color the grown meat to give it the look of conventional meat." Now I'm going to talk about that. Let me write a note to myself right here. I want to talk about the beets. Okay. I'm going to come back to that. I want to remember that though. All right. So now Professor Sun and the researchers from the National University of Singapore, Shizhou Research Institute, China, and the National University of Singapore, mixed cereal proteins extracted from barley or rye or corn protein, Zen, I think that's what it says, Zen, to produce pure cereal protein-based links. Pure. For the first time. Quote, "This is a novel and disruptive idea to mass produce cultured meat. Using nutrients from food wastes to print scaffolds not only uses the increases the value of food waste, but also alleviates the pressure on the environment from animal agriculture," says Professor Sun. So apparently this is the way that they plan to do it, taking it from proteins and doing all this, laying it on the scaffold and doing, this is a bunch of crap. This is what they want us to believe that they're going to do, right? This is how they want us to think that it's all going to be made. All right, so maybe it is. But let me ask you something, and I'm going to come over here and ask you this question. You guys think about it. Whenever you cooked a beet, that red color, does it always, if they were to put it in something that was like a, I don't know, like, why? They told us the same thing about the Beyond Meat that they were doing, talking about this meat. Meet the meat, y'all. This meat is colored by the beets. Really, something is really awry here. You guys let me know down below what you think it is. Let me know in the comments what you think is really going on, because this is a lot of explanation to show us about some ink. So this seems like it's a lot of dispelling prior to something coming and hitting the mainstream. It's like, let us go on ahead. Hey, Tina, let us go on ahead and just explain all of this before we just let it land. So we're going to dispel everybody's thought processes before it's ever out. We're going to put it out. We're going to let them know what it is. Right? Okay. All right. Well, there's that. So this is how they plan on doing it. This is how they plan on mixing it. This is how they plan on creating the look. This is how they plan on doing everything. So now here's the skinny. Do you guys think that we've already had some of this stuff in some of the major stores? Now, somebody put down below in the chat, hey, Flow State, what's going on, baby? I need somebody to put in the chat the name that they're using that goes on. Hey, Vine Dressers. Leslie, what's going on, Mr. Leslie? Somebody put down the name in the name of the chat. Put in the chat the name of the label that's on that fruit and vegetables. It's got the RNA in it. You guys know what I'm talking about? I want somebody to put that down below because I think it's like a little V something tag. It's a little sticker that goes on there. Brittany B, hey, baby. How's it going there, Angela? So now we got the fake meat. And these are the things that we should be looking at right now, because even though we know that this stuff is crazy, we got to also understand that this is the stuff they're trying to make you eat. And then here's the deal. They're asking you for permission right now, but in a second, Apeel. Thank you. Thank you. Let me look that up. Apeel. That's it. That is. So right now they're asking you, they're telling you what's going on, but in a minute they ain't going to ask, because all they're going to need to do is get enough appeal and get enough approval. And once they get enough approval, they're not going to need you to do anything. So it's Apeel Sciences. That's what it is. Let's take a look at their website, shall we? Let's have a gander. Let's have a gander. Let's allow all. Who cares? Plant-based protection that helps the produce you love stay fresh longer. Who cares about it staying fresh longer? Am I wrong? Let's take a look at this. All right, so here you go. We're going to switch this one out. So they want to help make the produce stay fresher longer. All of these things are obviously for your convenience. And how do they know that having things work for your convenience is going to be the best bet? Well, because we've already shown them that we need stuff to be expeditious. It needs to be quick. It needs to go fast. It needs to be in a hurry up type fashion. It needs to. So here you go. We do not want our vegetables to get bad fast. We want our vegetables and our fruits to stay like the Mona Lisa on our table. So let's look at this website together. I'm going to give you guys the whole screen as usual so that you guys get the opportunity to see it. And let's look at it. So plant-based protection that helps the produce you love stay fresh for longer. All right. It started with a simple question. Why do some fruits and vegetables last longer than others? Well, let's find out the answer. This is being used for commentary only, so don't get kooky, because we are going to stop as this is going so that we are going to break this down. We're doing a review of this, and it is for commentary purposes that we use it.
Most people look at this and see an apple. At Apeel, we see a database
if you can hear this, y'all,
filled with millions of years of information and nature's molecular building blocks, which make a lemon more lasting than a strawberry. And we see sustainable ways to use seeds and skins from plants, extracting the molecules that make up their protective shield, applying this extra peel to other fruits and vegetables, giving them added protection that increases their lifespan by up to 3 times without.
Okay, so if you could hear that, it says that it's going to increase the I guess the beautability or the gorgeous aroma of it. You see those, like those two words there together I just created. So yes, it does. But can you guys tell me? Yes, frankenfruit and Sharon says frankenfruit and vegetables. Oh my God. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear the recording, I should say? But that's exactly what they're talking about. They're saying that this is a way that they are going to be able to maintain the fruit and vegetables effectiveness, and that it's going to look appealing, that it's going to be pretty. The Hey King BJ, it's going to be pretty, it's going to be appealing, it's going to look good, and it's just going to last for a good amount of time. Okay. All right, that's what they're saying. So let's get right into the rest of this. Let's get into the rest of it, you guys. And remember, we're going to break in every now and again because we're doing a commentary on this. All right? Okay, here we go.
Using harmful chemicals. And when all that's done, we still don't see an apple. We see you getting to eat more of the food you buy. We see a global food system that helps everyone thrive. We see less food waste and greater abundance for all.
Okay, they see less food waste and greater abundance for all. Don't you understand? This is for you. Let me help you. Listen, we're trying to help you. That's what we're trying to do. It's global. Yes, William, it is global. It's not just you, it's everybody. We're in this for everybody, baby. We're in it for the Skrilla. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? We're not in it for the Skrilla. We're not in it for anything other than to have a control and also to make sure that everybody has fruits and vegetables that look wonderful from farm that we've created, okay, with the seeds that we've created from farm to your table, no matter where you are on the planet. Okay. I don't want that kind of help either, Charlie. Okay. I don't want that kind of help either. All right. Not at all. So let's go ahead and finish. Let's listen.
Creating a healthier planet. It matters how you see the world, especially if you want to feed it.
Wait a minute, baby. Did anybody else just catch that? It said it matters how you see the world. Did anybody else just catch what I caught subliminally? Huh? Did anybody just see that? Who just saw that? Let me go ahead and play it back for you. I'm going to go back just a smidge. And then I want you guys to pay very close attention. All right, here you go. Listen, let's go.
Especially if you want to feed it.
Did you see that? Look.
It matters how you see the world, especially.
Did anybody just see that? And yeah, I said, I'm tripping. I'm not tripping. I'm serious. You saw it? Okay. Okay. Y'all saw the okay sign, but what does the okay sign mean? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody want to tell me? Maestra, maestra. There you go. We name hit it. Maestra Lockhart, Maestra Lockhart. I want to know. I want to tell you. Okay, you got it? All right, there y'all go. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all the sharpest. Y'all the best. Dang. Hey, let's go ahead. Let's finish. Wow, they just came right out and said it, but nonetheless, there we go.
If you want to feed it. At Apeel, we see ways to use the power of nature to make a difference in the world every day. What you see is what you get.
So according to Apeel, what they're saying is this is all for humanity. It is all so that they have the ability to make sure that the fruits and vegetables that you get have long shelf life, that they live on the shelf for a good amount of time, and you don't ever have to worry about your food going bad or having a terrible appeal. It's all about what your eyes can see, right? Because, of course, you want your fruits and vegetables to not only taste good, but you want them to last long, and you want them to be pretty as long as they're sitting on the table. You want them to be gnat-free, right? You ain't going to have to worry about bugs at all. So we have a lot of vegetables at our house, lots of fruit at our house. And if the grandkids don't grab it and zap it and take it out, the little bugs come. If they don't grab it quick enough, then a little bug comes, or you're looking for that one banana. You're like, okay, wait a minute. And this thing of bananas, that's what's causing it. Or you see an apple, that's what's causing it. Right? Oh gosh, they're still doing this. I don't even want to talk about the Trump thing. I just got a news alert from the Hill, and I don't even want to talk about it because it's obvious reasons. But if you don't grab the fruits and vegetables quick enough, that's what's going to happen. Well, Apeel is saying that they're going to prevent all of that from happening, because if it doesn't decay quickly, there's a couple of things. Doesn't decay quickly, then you're not going to have to worry about it not being pretty. And if it doesn't decay quickly, that could mean that it's not real. That's just me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it. So what's going to happen to our bodies, okay, after like what our loving person here in the chat just got to saying, the frankenfruit and vegetables, what's going to happen to your body? What happens to you after you continue this direction? I mean, we already know what's going on with all of the dye and all that other stuff. But you know, America is the only place that has the largest amount of diseases for both children and adults on the planet. There are diseases for everything you can think of. You can't even watch a television show without being bombarded with an advertisement for a disease that you didn't even know you had a name for. So your kneecap is cracking? Well, that's because you got kneecap crackitis, and we got just the medication for it, baby, right? So we're the only country on the face of the earth that knows how to tell every other country how to handle their business and how to live their lives. We're the only country on the face of the earth that has the moral fortitude to step to anybody in their country and tell their people, tell them not to treat their people badly, to tell them not to feed their people poor or terrible food, to tell them not to spray their people with Agent Orange or any of this other stuff. We step to everybody, and yet our people are the sickest. We are the most ill. And yet We're supposed to be one of the superpowers that have the most everything. And we're the only ones that I ever see that are as sick as this. And then we got the audacity to go out into the bush of Africa or out into the bush and the outback in Australia and go someplace else and tell people, hey, we need to give you guys this because you guys are not civilized. You need to be like us. Let me give you this medication. Let me give you all of this. Huh? Yeah. Mentally and physically ill. Mentally and physically ill. We are the laughingstock of the world. This place right here. Now, I am going to talk about something else because there's something else I want to share. So we already looked at Barack. We already looked at the 3D printing of the meat. I want to talk about this money, honey, that the state of California has come up with. And I want to know how long this money is going to last. All right. I want to know how long this money is going to last. And you know, I got my bifocals. Here we go. This is the person I want to talk about right here. First off. Okay. See, why the conservative court, has Obama and Pelosi cheering. I don't want to see that right now. I'm probably going to make an audio about that one. All right. So let's get it here. Let's get it. This says that, goodness gracious. No, I don't want to do that. And maybe if I make it smaller, I won't have to worry about the big borders before I let you guys see it. Let me take it down. Yeah, there we go. Now you all can see this. And there's that bloody bra again. We say quit with that. I'm not even looking for one of those. As a matter of fact, I hate those things altogether. So I don't even know why they've got it over here. But nonetheless, let's go on ahead and take a glance. I said that. All right, here we go. Here she is. Now, I want you guys to remember a couple of things because this lady comes up with it every chance that she can get. She's always coming up with money. I don't know what Chinaman's giving her this money. I don't know how this chick is getting the money. I don't know nothing. But according to this right here, California Representative Maxine Waters introduces bills to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to fight homelessness and solve the affordable housing crisis. Now, mind you, I am a Southern girl, but I was raised in Southern California. And as long as I have been an adult, this woman has been in office and possibly prior to that. Now, mind you, I don't know where she came up with this money or the ideas to get the money or how they're going to fund it. But every time she gets her hands on some money, she doesn't do anything but fleece the people and floss her daughter, her husband, her cousin, them, and herself. So with that said, let's get into the story. Representative Maxine Waters, a California Democrat, introduced a trio of bills addressing the housing crisis that she has been addressing for ages. It didn't just start today. She didn't get interested today. She's been doing this. All right. Yeah. She been begging y'all to trust her with the money. She worked hard for the money. All right, so they would expand housing vouchers and send $100 billion to first-step generation home buyers. The bills, which offer a slew of other policy solutions, are focused on reducing the racial wealth gap. Representative Maxine Waters, a Democrat in California, introduced a trio of bills. It's just repeating what we just got through saying. So let me go down a little bit. The legislation, which includes expanding housing vouchers, sending $100 billion to help fight to help first-time home generation buyers, is focused on reducing the wealth gap. They keep pushing this wealth gap. Boy, who's from California? Do you realize how busted and broke regular Californians are? All of them are in the wealth gap unless they living on high on the hog somewhere. Anyway, the gap between the rate of home ownership among Black versus white families is now at its widest point in a decade and contributes significantly to the wealth gap. Quote, together, these bills represent the single largest and most comprehensive investment in affordable housing in the United States history. And it comes at a time when our nation's housing and homelessness crisis has reached its worst state, Waters said in a statement. Now, one bill, the Housing Crisis Response Act of 2023, includes over $150 billion in funding for affordable housing and investments is in closing the racial housing gap. This is a bunch of crap. But anyway, let's go on. It aims to create almost $1.4 million in affordable homes and helps. Now, how many houses is that? 1.4 million affordable homes. Okay, got it. Where are they going to put them? Anyway, and also help 294,000 households pay rent while strengthening oversight of fair housing practices to battle discrimination. Y'all don't care nothing about no discrimination, because if you did, you guys wouldn't been allowing all the stuff that's going on right now to go on. But then again, you got to say what you got to say. But here, we're going to have a blast from the past. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have this blast from the past, because this is what happens whenever she gets her hands involved in giving somebody housing help, right? Whenever she's
everybody to go home. And I want we don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. Miss McKinney, Miss Waters. And I want we don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. Miss McKinney, Miss Waters, what home we gonna go to? Just a moment. Just a moment. Nothing is gonna happen here today.
Nothing is going to happen here today. There ain't nothing to be seen here. You ain't going to get no help. I need every one of you all that's standing around here doing absolutely nothing in the middle of the day to go home to the place that you don't have, that we've been promising. Okay, so let's get it out. Let's get it here and see what this is. This is from the channel, and it is a whatchamafigget. It is a whatchamafigum common, so you can see this piece, and I'm going to leave the name down below in the description so you guys can go by this gentleman's channel and watch this. But again, she is telling the people to go home. How they going to go home? The reason for them being there, the purpose of this communication, Miss Waters, is so that we can find out where the housing vouchers you promised all of us are. That's what the purpose of this visit is. And she telling everybody, ain't nothing gonna be done today, because we done got all of that money and bought us some barbecue. We done bought some barbecue with that money. We done got some new shoes with that money. We done got a new wing put on our house with that money. And all of the vouchers that y'all thought y'all was going to have, that money will supply all of our needs according to that money's riches and that money's glory.
To go home. And I want we don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. Miss McKinney, Miss Waters, what home we gonna go to? Just a moment. Just a moment. Nothing is going to happen here today. Nothing is going to happen anymore today.
So what about
but
all these names?
What we're gonna that's what give
Are these people not embarrassed? You got people between the age.
So you hear this guy right here. Now I want you guys to go to his channel because he is absolutely hilarious. This guy's channel is called, let me give it to you right now because he is really good. It's KvonComedy, KvonComedy, KVON Comedy, right here on YouTube. I want you guys to go check him out because it is hilarious the way that he gives the commentary and everything that he says along with it. We needed that little particular snippet because these are the kinds of things that happens whenever this lady gets money in her hands. Whenever this broad gets any money in her hands, it always slips through like the holes of a sieve. Like you can put flour in a sieve and it just comes and falls on through. She had it for a minute and now it's gone, sliding down her hands. She ain't got it no more. And if she ain't got it, you ain't got it and you ain't gonna get it. So America, what are we doing with all of these democratically run states that have all of these corrupt people? We can't do nothing but sit here and hold up and just wait. That's all we can do. Look like somebody opened up the back door, and I think I hear my grandson fumbling around because they letting every fly from outside come in. But in any case, I digress. I want you guys to understand something. Nothing's going to happen. Now, I do want to get on everybody because every other day I see something where somebody says, hey, Amy, where somebody sits up and says, oh, you know, they hung this one. Oh, they did that one to that one. Oh, they got a hold of this one. Oh, this one's down at Gitmo. Y'all quit with that. Where is she going with all this? Here's where I'm headed. I just got through saying to somebody that sent me something because we chat all the time. I'm like, you know what? I get it. And it is hopeful. You know, it is wishful thinking. But how are all of these bad guys being out there on the other side of Florida if they're being zapped, then who is doing the bad stuff? Wait, okay, now there are about 5 or 6 different factions of meanies, right? So let's just imagine like it's the Justice League against the, you got the guys on one side of the comic world. Help me out with the names. What is it? DC, and the other one was what? So you got the bad guys. We could just take Batman. Okay, so you got all the bad guys on Batman. Is that what it is? Is it like you got Batman, the good guys, and then you got all the bad guys on the Batman show? So you got the Riddler, then you got the Joker, then you've got Catwoman, right? You got her. So is it like all of the is that what's going on? And so you got everybody trying to vie to be the head. And so that's why we're hearing like today somebody says Gretchen Whitmer, really? Really? Okay, so if that's the case, so then that means that all of the masks and all of the stuff and all of the I don't know, all of the robotic talk is okay. All right. So if that's the case, and they're the ones that's doing it, so they're doing it to get them out of the way. But when you think of Whitmer, wasn't Whitmer hanging out with Schwab? Her and the cat in California? Why? And then at all. All right. So we're hearing that kind of stuff. And then we're hearing stuff like, well, Mr. Naranga is going to come back. And here's how he's going to come back. Oh my God. I wish I could show you guys this buffoonery. I'm going to show it to you. Let me see, can I find it? And I'm going to show it to you because it absolutely, it just really, they're saying, oh, here it is. I need y'all to stop it. Stop it. Because even if it's true, when you close your eyes tonight, the tomfoolery that they are doing is continuing. So maybe they are fighting, and maybe there are a group of individuals that are arguing. Maybe you got 6 different groups, 6 different gangs, and all these 6 different gangs is fighting amongst each other so that somebody can be the ruler. Maybe the main 2 cats lost in an arm wrestling match. I don't know. Maybe something happened, and maybe I don't know, but I do know that what's happening is a lot of people hung on that Q stuff. A lot of people hinged their lives on everything that came off of any of those platforms, 4chan and all that, y'all. And a lot of people, oh, he's going to come back on this day. Oh, they were talking about Trump like he was the Messiah. They had due dates for this cat's return. Hello? They had due dates for this cat it's going to be on the 3rd. Yep, he's coming back. I tell you what, it's going to be right after this date. Yep, he's coming back. I tell you what, it's going to be on this date. And you know what? Maybe all of that was true. But my question is, why are we, even right now today, even believing half of that trash? Because it doesn't add 1 inch to our height. It don't put no money in our bank accounts. It don't put no money in our pocket. It does not put 1 T-bone steak, not 1 real T-bone steak on the barbecue at the cookout. Okay? It ain't going to stop your auntie from making that potato salad with the raisins in it. Doggone good that well. Don't know raisins going no tater salad. It ain't going to stop her from doing that. It's not going to do anything. Y'all, don't let these people who's sending you guys this stuff distract y'all. Stay on your course. Whatever your course is, stay on the course, because I'm telling you, so it's like, why do we know any of this stuff? And the biggest one was the due date for Mr. Naranga to come back. They were saying, oh, he's going to come back and it's going to happen. And this is going to be going on and that's going to go. Okay, so even if that dude do come back, do you think that dude is still that dude? Anybody? Everybody? Is he still the dude? He ain't the dude. None of them are the dude. If what we know is going on and they zapping people, because he said a lot of stuff and did a lot of stuff while he was in office right before he decided to, allow them to do whatever it was that happened when he had to go. Okay. Winter Lake. Okay. All right. So he was the one that said, "Oh boy, yeah, it's gonna be a cold, dark winter." Then he said the dark winter. He also said that that the military was gonna do stuff really, they were gonna help big, that they were gonna run this out, that they were gonna do X, Y, or Z. He was also the person that, in tandem with that, was the one who said, "Go out and get it," after he decided to come back and run again when he was doing his campaign. Y'all I did this the quickest and the fastest, and you guys had these already immediately. Do not lose sight of who is running what. Don't lose sight of the fact that all of these, close the back door, please. We got bugs in here, flies. Don't lose sight of the fact that Don't lose sight of the fact that these cats are all working together. You got you got Bookham Dano. You got the good cop, you got the good cop and the bad cop. Good cop and the bad cop. You got Janice. Two sides, same coin. Keep your eyes on what is real for your life. That's what you do. That's what you do. Keep your eyes on the real stuff. Quit allowing people to distract you guys with this stuff, because we heard about, what was it? Well, okay, let's go back. Yeah, it is, Mr. Leslie. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Right. All right. So now that's that piece. So, because I was going to go back and start talking about how everybody said it was going to be Jasara and Asara. Then after Jasara and Asara, okay, now he's going to come back. And then it was going from that. Oh, no, they locked her up. They did this to her. Now she's gone. And then you hear everybody, even on BitChute. And I know you BitChute folks, y'all probably not even watching this right now, because y'all got you guys have an attention span of maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes is max. You can hit a 1 minute video over on there with you guys. So that means you guys are going to hear. But I know you're going to say, you guys are so stupid. That person ain't even alive no more. That person got zapped. Okay. So what's the purpose of even seeing any of these folks? Anyway, let me get on my next topic. Okay. So we did that one. Yeah. So she's out here with all the money. And not only is she out here with all the money, but now they are supposed to be, making all of this housing in the state of California. Where are they going to put any of this housing? And if anybody remembers, there was a minute. Okay, you wanted a BitChute people that come on my channel from BitChute. Well, have you noticed over there, Flow State? I need to give you the link so you can come up here. But I want to tell you guys that over there on BitChute, what they do is they'll be like, no, this person's gone. That person got zapped. This person got zapped. And that person's not around. And you're such a stupid such and such for putting this up because that person was deleted on this date. Really? You know that for sure? Don't none of us know it for sure, which is the reason why, to Mr. Leslie's point, we were saying, okay, we're going to slow up on all of this. But now it's like comedy news to me. Yeah, Cali is a hot mess. Yes, they are. Well, let's look at this guy right here. What's his name? The guy that is another WEF friend. Oh, no. Before we get off, what we got to do is talk about Mr. Harari. Noah Harari. That's what I want to talk about. There he is. And the last thing that he just got through saying about the Bible. We need to talk about the Bible. Oh, boy. Is this what he said? Yes, he did. And you know what they get me with this stuff? How they always pop up and say, well, here goes Snoops. We're gonna fact check it. You ain't got to fact check nothing, because a lot of us saw that video. Matter of fact, let me just go over here, because I already see what's happening. As soon as I put that in, there's a, did he really say, did the senior advisor? Let's just go. We're gonna look at that crap. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. This is what he says. Now, what does this say here? It better not be one of those stupid fact checkers. False. It's a fact checker. And the fact checker say it's false. How many times have we fact checked the fact checker on our own? And then to turn right around and show that we were right and the fact checker that did the fact checking was wrong. We prove them wrong. And then after we prove them wrong, they wrong. But they're right over here. Okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and close this. I don't even want to hear what the fact checkers have to say, because, oh man, I wish that, who's here that can send me the video of it? Because that's what I should have started talking about. Because he was the one sitting there saying how we got to get the Bible, the way we got to fix the Bible. Let's see. Is this it? What date is this? June 14th. Let me just see if this is it. Yuval Noah Harari, an Israeli author, professor, advisor up to the influential World Economic Forum. If Ronnie.d.Mann is watching, I know he's upset with me for shining on it, but I got to shine on it. Hold on, let me let you guys see it too. Let me let you guys see it too. Let me present this here with you so you guys can follow along, and we'll see if this is it. No, I don't want to be on your news. And I don't want to do that either. Okay, so is this somebody who is a sympathizer, or is this a real thing that we're going to be able to find this? Let's see. Let's see. Let me make this. Let me give you guys a full screen so I can go on the other side and dig around like Felix in my bag of tricks. Let's see. Pastor shoots wife and himself at a hotel months after celebrating first year as leader. Shoot, boy. Okay, so let's see what it says here. Yuval Noah Harari, an Israeli author, professor, and advisor to the influential World Economic Forum, believes AI is not only on the brink of creating a new religious text, but one that Harari asserts might actually be true. Harari made the stunning claim during a conversation on AI and the future of humanity with journalist Pedro Pinto last month in Lisbon, Portugal, in which he compared the rise of AI computer power with other history-altering inventions like the printing press. But unlike the printing press or its Gutenberg Bible, Harari explained, AI has the potential to come up with entirely new ideas distinct from prior human development. The printing press, he says, this is a quote, the printing press printed as many copies of the Bible as Gutenberg instructed it, but it did not create a single new page. It had no ideas of its own about the Bible. It is good, it is bad. How to interpret this? How to interpret that? Now, let me go here where it says the conversation. Oh, this is him. And let me make sure that this is, if I can use it or not, because they would love to say, no, you can't use it. But I am using this for commentary purposes, and I know the law, so come on and mess with me if you want to. I'm not stupid, and I know how to challenge something if I got to. It's not that simple. Pedro Pinto. Let's see. Here. I follow that. Hold on, you guys. Let me get it for you.
2023 and tell us what you see and why it's difficult perhaps to preview the future at this time.
Humans and other organisms, they live, they exist, they develop by cycles. We need to rest sometime. AI never needs to rest. Now, the other two things we need to know about AI is that first, it's the first. And how long would it take for the AI amoebas to evolve into the T-Rexes? And it won't take.
Most out of these 40 minutes that I have with you, I could list your accolades and your books and your achievements.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, but let's focus on the content. And obviously, I've heard a lot of your interviews, of your talks, and there's something that we can't get around at the moment in 2023, which is technology, the advance of technology. When I was growing up, and we're more or less the same age, I'm 48, I still remember that Pong game where you had basically two white rectangles going back and forth with the ball bouncing off the screen. And it's crazy where we are now. I have a 2.5-year-old.
The evolution of life on Earth took something like 4 billion years. 4 billion years to reach these plants and to reach us, human beings. Now, AI is now at the stage like of, I don't know, amoebas. It's like 4 billion years ago, and the first living organisms are crawling out of the organic soup. The ideas created by the human brain, by the human mind, they cannot create a new idea. You know, Gutenberg printed the Bible in the middle of the 15th century. The printing press printed as many copies of the Bible as Gutenberg instructed it, but it did not create a single new page. It had no ideas of its own about the Bible. Is it good? Is it bad? How to interpret this? How to interpret that? AI can create new ideas, can even write a new Bible. Throughout history, religions dreamt about having a book written by a superhuman intelligence, by a non-human entity. Every religion claims our book, all the other books of the other religions, humans wrote them. But our book, no. It came from some superhuman intelligence. In a few years, there might be religions that are actually correct. That just think about a religion whose holy book is written by an AI. That could be a reality in a few years.
You know, when I was preparing this interview,
okay, let me pause it here.
Questions that I would like to ask you, and then
all right. So basically, he's saying that in a few years there could be a book that's written that each religion will have the opportunity to say, "Well, we're right. It's how we want it. It's what we say it is because we said it is." They already have an AI Bible and says. And instead of precept upon precept, it says blah 666 blah blah blah. So the deal is that this whole entire place have you ever just woke up some mornings and felt like somebody shifted, and then all of a sudden now you're on a different, you're like 1/4 of an inch over from where you were before, and that put you in somebody else's lane on the highway? Do you realize that if you are 1/4 of an inch in somebody else's lane on the highway, that it's a cataclysmic, collision that it can actually cause a cataclysmic collision? It can, but that's how I feel sometimes, dealing with a lot of the crap that they're just throwing. So now here's the deal. I do know that there is somebody kooky that does have their hand in the cookie jar. Okay. There is somebody kooky that has their hand in the cookie jar and they're just messing stuff up. I don't know. Maybe that's why homeboy's hair is pure white. And we're not far from each other in age, Mr. Obama and I. So I'm wondering, you ain't even in office. Your hair is as white as a ghost, as white as a sheet for Halloween. Okay? So maybe that's the reason why, because there is some real crazy crap going on. What it is, I don't know. Do I care to know? Only to the extent to where it affects me personally. And then I go on my knees, because then I get into neology, right? I get into intercession for you and for those like you that care about me, that I care about. All right. That's to the extent that I care about it. But I just think that it's just really amazing how goofy everything has gotten. It's so Bakatani. Everything's like backwards now. We are totally in a place now that's just off the chain. Who would have thunk it? In the 80s, would you have thunk this that we would ever be here? Would you have ever thought about that? Who could have thought that we would have ever been having a conversation about something that has no intelligence, allegedly, being able to recreate the Bible or recreate the holy books of different religions or beliefs or different sects of Christianity or different sects of different faiths? Who would have thunk that? Who? Let's listen to the rest of this cat. Let me let him go. Let me let him talk to himself. Talk by yourself.
Ask ChatGPT to create 10 questions that it would like to ask you. And I've been doing this for a long time, okay? 25 years I've been doing this, and its questions were better than mine. I'm going to be honest with you. It was absolutely insane, and it took it 5 seconds, 7 seconds to write it out, and I'm still using the first version. And when you talk about it being a baby, I'm like, that's a pretty scary baby we're talking about here, right? And when you said it at the end, towards the end of your book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, when we have maybe decades, some years left before, when we need to discover who we are before algorithms tell us who we are. How fast is that happening? And what does that process look like before humans normally are just going to go to an AI solution before they go to this solution?
It's moving faster
I
than
want to
I
ask
think
you
almost.
guys something. Do you all notice how ironic it is that of late that we've been hearing a lot of people just go directly to him and ask him different questions? Has anybody else noticed that recently he has been the person that they have actually gone to ask questions of? And by him I mean Harari, all right? Because there's been a lot of hubbub about the stuff that this guy has got to say. Who's to say that he is a 100% human? Who's to say? I mean, if you look at it, who got citizenship in Saudi Arabia? A female robot. Who's to say that this cranium here that you see, that you're looking at, look like E.T. Who's to say homeboy ain't an AI? Who's to say? So you got a lot of people running in fear, is my point. You got a lot of people listening to this crap this thing here says, and people are running in fear. Oh, I know something's going to happen today. Hey, I already know. Look here. I don't know if it's going to be monetized or not. So if y'all got 22 cents, you better send it your girl's way. There's a snail mail down below. Send 22 cents or something, because I know this right here going to get some stuff going on it. But who's to say this cat is real? Who is to say? See, you got to understand that when you're dealing with the kingdom of darkness, when you're dealing with warlocks and wizards, and you're dealing with all these different individuals that have different tactics that they use. They use these different tactics because they know what has worked in the past. You see, ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing. So the tactics that they used 10 years ago is the same tactics they're going to use today. The tactics that they used 50 years ago is the same tactics they're going to use today. The same tactic they used with homegirl Rosa Parks not getting up off the bus and having everybody able to come and take a picture of her sitting on the bus at a time when they didn't even have cell phones is the same tactics they're going to use today to get your goat. Everything that they used back then is the same thing that they're going to use today. Don't forget that the same cats that was alive back then are right now walking around like 90 to 110 years old Bob Hope. They all walking around looking like death without a cane. And it's the same cats that was doing the stuff back then that's doing it right now. So who's to say this cat that they all fear? Everybody, oh my God, did you hear what Yuval Harari said? Oh my goodness. He said they're going to change the Bible. But do you got the word of Yah down in your heart or not? Why you think he said to remember it? Why you think he said to rightly divide the word of truth? Anyway, that's that. I want to talk also today before we get out of here, because you guys have been so kind and so awesome. Wait a minute. What's it? Radical Roots of California Ethnic Studies Curriculum. The Golden State spent $55 million in taxpayer funds on programs that dub police officers as pigs. California occupied Mexico and Jewish oppressors. Wow. That's another story for another day. But what I do want to ask you guys about is, have you heard about the reparations for the Holocaust survivors that's coming out of Germany? Anybody? Anybody heard about it? Anybody? We're going to look at that right quick, because I'm done talking about Mr. Harari. Because as far as I'm concerned, he could be AI himself. As far as I am concerned, he could be AI himself. So I'm not walking around here trembling about none of the stuff that these folks is fabricating at all. And the reason why I'm here talking about it today, so I can shake y'all loose. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe everything that these people say. Let me go ahead and get my little fingernails to type in here. So I want to look at the reparations that Germany is giving the Jews some money. They're giving them some money. Was this the other day? Holocaust. Let's see. 9/15/22. Nope. Let me go over here and look at what this is. It right here. Holocaust survivors to receive 1.4. Now, in tandem with that, who remembers the Obama administration giving up some ducats. So Obama gave money too. Uh-huh. All right, here it is right here. He gave 12 million. Okay, so we're going to use two stories. We're going to use the first one, then we're going to use the second one. So the first one is coming out of Germany. All right, we're going to look at that one first, and it is the NPR. So meh, you're going to have to use a grain of salt. Meh, use a grain of salt. Meh, when you look at it. All right, so let's take this down. Let's put the new one up. No, I don't want to invite anybody because nobody doesn't want to come on right now. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we are. All right, the German government will pay more than $1.4 billion next year. So let's see. Yeah, June 15th, 2023. For those of us who like to get the dates and run with them so that you can look for it yourself later, I need to open this up some. So here we go, right there. All right, and let me give it to you bigger so you guys can follow along. Thank you guys for hanging out because yeah. So we need to understand what's really going on and how much money they're getting and why. But it does mean something. It does mean a lot. So the German government will pay more than $1.4 billion next year to Holocaust survivors in the latest compensation for atrocities and persecution inflicted by the Nazis. Nearly $890 million will go toward home care services, an increasingly vital aspect of the reparation effort as the Nazis' victims advance in age, nearly 80 years after the Holocaust ended. The payments stem from annual negotiations between Germany's Federal Ministry of Finance and the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany, an organization representing Jewish Holocaust survivors, also known as the Claims Conference. The funds are meant to help survivors live in dignity decades after they were persecuted and lost loved ones and property. Here's a quote. Every year, these negotiations become more and more critical as this last generation of Holocaust survivors age and their needs increase. This comes from Greg Schneider, the Claims Conference Executive Vice President, said in a news release about the deal. Now, there is money, includes direct payments for hardship funds. As of September 2022, an estimated 280,000 Holocaust survivors were living in countries around the world, the Claims Conference said. The money for 2024 includes $535 million in direct payments to survivors, ranging from monthly pensions to a one-time annual payment of 1,250 euros or $1,365 per person. The compensation payment slated for 2024 eclipses the more than $1.2 billion Germany agreed to pay in 2023. Restitution amounts have risen sharply since 2015, the German government notes, when the annual package was valued around 510 million euros. Let me make sure that everything is still okay on you all's side. Yeah, it is. Okay. So all of those euros, right? So that's a lot of money. About 557 million at today's exchange rate. Part of the reason for the recent increase lies in the pandemic. Since COVID-19 struck, Germany has been making one-off annual hardship payments to eligible survivors. Payments under that package were scheduled to stop in December, but the government agreed to keep the program running through at least 2027. Quote, the survivors receiving these hardship payments largely include Jews from the former Soviet Union who were not in camps or ghettos and are not eligible for pension programs, closed quote. Now, that's according to the Claims Conference. However, it does continue with these survivors fled the, I can't pronounce this, you guys. It looks like Anstadtgruppen, Nazi mobile killing units charged with murdering entire Jewish communities. More than 1 million Jews were killed by these units. which operated largely by shooting hundreds and thousands of Jews at the time and burying them in mass pits. Now, Germany has paid compensation and restitution for decades. As the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum notes, 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, along with millions more civilians and soldiers from the former Soviet Union and people who were Polish, Serbian, or from Roma minority. The Nazis also orchestrated the wholesale murders of people with disabilities and those who were homosexuals. The Claims Conference has been pursuing reparations from the German government since 1951, when it was founded by a coalition of Jewish organizations and has secured more than $90 billion in payments. A decade ago, the Claims Conference was rocked by a fraud scandal in which insiders of the New York-based group were charged with siphoning money and creating thousands of bogus claims. Justice Department's officials said that it was the Claims Conference itself that brought the fraud to the attention of the FBI in 2009. All right, so that's that. $1.4 billion. Now, I want to talk about the United States giving, all right? Because the U.S. has been giving for quite some time. Yeah, they have. The U.S. has been giving for quite some time. A long time. And where is it? Is it here? Yeah, that's it. All right, so let's take a gander at this one. I'm looking at this because to me, I want to have a conversation about this. And I know it's going to piss a lot of people off, but it's okay. Better to be pissed off than pissed on. Here we are. I want to talk about something, the juxtaposition. And I am going to talk about the juxtaposition because let's just be honest. Even though we can say that, yeah, a lot of people have been slaves. We have had a lot of people. We have had, folks who've been slaves that were in Ireland. We had folks who came from different countries and came over here and who had to work to pay off that land. Okay, so now we got a lot of the Irish people that came into the United States. A lot of those folks came here, but the way that they had to pay off what they were getting was they came in and they were given land, right? So there was a lot of stuff that happened. But my question is, this is okay to give money to. This is okay for us. We're paying for this. We paid up. We paid money for Japan. I want to ask you guys down in the chat, not taking any sides. I want to ask y'all, what do you think about the United States giving money for this situation? Which, of course, we're not going to listen. What we're not going to do is we're not going to say it didn't happen. We're not going to say that. We're just going to use this as a question. What do you guys think about this being okay for the United States to give money for years, decades, and not at least give money for those individuals that are requesting reparations right now? Listen, I'm not a person that screams reparations. I'm just weighing stuff out. All right. You may just say that I'm the agitator, that I'm sort of in the kitchen, wrist is twisted like it's stir fry. I'm just twisting up some stuff, asking some questions. Right? Because you know me, I don't care one way or another, because the way I look at it is I live for today, right now, today. But it is a question. And Kooky, California, knowing that I'm not a reparations person, but Kooky, California, trying to give a whole bunch of money, is that still going on or is that dead in the water? Because, I haven't been keeping my eyes open for all of this stuff lately. But let's just get on with the story here. All right. So now this money was given out of your pocket and mine. This story is dated October 15th, 2015. I'm sorry, but those are not no Hebrews I've ever seen. All of them folks look like people from Russia, look like folks from Poland. They all look like cold climate people. Okay, so my question is, how's all these cold climate people coming from a place that they say is theirs? Hello? Anybody? Let's do some math. How all these cold climate looking folks from over there in a climate that's supposed to be hot? I know somebody gonna get mad. Oh, I don't understand what she's saying. Okay, I'm gonna spell it out for you. How is it that Israel has the highest incidence of skin cancer if these folks come from there? Why do I say this? Well, because we know that the Father has a lot of sense. that the Eskimos have eyes shaped the way that they do? Those who are in areas that have all that white snow, so that you don't go blind, your eyes are shaped a certain way. Then we know about certain people who live in certain areas and certain regions and their skin color is a certain color because they're so close to the equator. Come on, somebody. Look, if we don't start just having these kinds of conversations, then they're going to keep on pulling the rug from up under us and pulling the wool up over our eyes. We got to have these conversations. We got to add, we got to subtract, we got to put some stuff together. Okay, we got to shake it and stir it around. We got to whip it and beat the eggs into it. Why them folk look like they from Poland? Why them folk look like they from Russia? Why those folk don't look like they from a hot climate? Why they don't look like they from over yonder? I'm just asking. Washington. The Obama administration has awarded $12 million for assistance to Holocaust survivors. Again, we're not upset about that. Please keep it in perspective. Ain't nobody upset about it. I'm asking the questions. All right. So the allocation from the Department of Health and Human Services to the Jewish Federations of North America to be disbursed over 5 years is a part of an initiative launched in late 2013 by Vice President Joe Biden to address the needs of survivors in the United States, a quarter of whom live below the poverty line. Have you ever met a Jew that lives below the poverty line? I'm from California. And I sang in the professional music industry for quite some time. And I was also a member, because I left all of that crap alone, being on the screen after and all that stuff. And then in Actors Equity and all that crap many years ago. I don't remember none of them cats ever being broken pole below the poverty line. Why? Let's just talk about the dynamics of their family. Their family, they have strong family. They have strong family values. And I'm going to tell you, when you find people who have strong family values, regardless of what color their skin is, you're going to find some strength in those numbers. You're going to find some strength in those numbers. Some type of strength that's going to be relative to them. Okay? So let's just go on. They said they live below the poverty line. All right? Let me give you guys the whole screen. Yeah, they live below the poverty line, and so they had to give them all of the money that they needed to give them help with, and whoop-de-whoop and wop-de-wop. Whoop-de and wop. Combined with matching private funds, the approximately $2.5 million per year over the 5 years will, quote, support $4.1 million in programming annually for organizations that help Holocaust survivors. The JFNA said, according to the JFNA, the funds will be used to advance the initiatives in person-centered trauma, informed supportive services for Holocaust survivors. That's a very good deal. I don't care who it is. These are all nice concepts, okay? Anytime you put something in to help humanity, it is a good concept, right? Now, it goes on to say that with this award, we will be able to advance our efforts to provide crucial services to vulnerable survivors, including those living in poverty, those in the Orthodox Jewish community, and those from the former Soviet Union. This comes from Mark Wilt, the chairman of the JFNA's National Holocaust Survivor Initiative. This is what he said in a statement. Now, here's another quote. These are our mothers and fathers and our teachers and our mentors, he said. They deserve to live their remaining years in dignity, and this award will help make that hope a reality. So that's a lot of money. Who else gave money? Anybody else want to throw any dollar amounts to this? There's 130 U.S. victims, 130,000 U.S. victims of Nazi persecution here living in the United States at the time of 2015. At the time of 2015. Huh. Wow. That's something else. Who'd have thunk it? So what do you think? Anybody? So now they're giving individuals all of this money. Who else have they given any money to? Let's see who else they've given money to. Let's just go and check it out. And again, you guys, listen, these are our dollars. And because they are our dollars, they're our dollars, we have got the right to talk about it. We have the right to speak on it. Because if we don't speak on it, and the next thing you know, all the money is gone, that they have set aside for X, Y, or Z, but it didn't go to where they said it was going to go, right? That's really what my point is. Let me just go ahead on. Like my friend girl, I just saw her in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here. Is Black Spring still here? Black Spring's daddy used to say, put it down there where the cows can get it. So you put it down here where the cows can get it. My question is, if we don't keep our eyes on the money, because see, this was from 2015, which means we already know. If homeboy who's in office right now is the one who put it out there in 2015, we already know that they've been throwing it out there. All right. And that other folks, here's the deal. These cats and chicks go up and say what they're going to use the money for. And then when they have all this ambiguity inside of the bills that say, and other areas, that means that they take that money, stick it in their pocket and keep it pushing. Now, I'm not going to leave this chat today before we talk about Mr. Biden and his son, when you talk about sticking money in pockets. Okay. I'm not leaving here today without talking about that. Now, Germany, according to the first story that we read, is given the $1.4 billion. All right. And they have been given their money, they claim, for some time. All right. So that's cool. I ain't got a dog in that hunt. I'm not from Germany. All right. I lived there several years ago, but I don't have a dog in the hunt of what goes on in that country, period. But what I do know is we're giving a whole bunch of money. And we're saying that we're giving it to people who are downtrodden, poor, and broke. And I'm just saying, I don't remember any of them being poor, downtrodden, and broke. Not to say that I don't have friends who are of that, persuasion, that are not filthy rich. But I still don't remember any of them living out Deuteronomy. I don't remember none of them hanging on trees. I don't remember none of them. Okay. All right. Building houses that they would never live in. I don't remember none of them eating in vineyards, planting vineyards that they're not going to eat from. I'm just saying I don't ever remember. That's all I'm saying. I don't remember. I'm not saying it didn't happen. And believe me, just because I didn't see it, don't mean that it didn't happen. That's all I'm saying. But if you're telling me that you the cats from Deuteronomy, you telling me you the cats from Leviticus, you telling me you the cats and the chicks from over yonder, right? You got the highest results of dermatological cancers, but you from a hot climate? How? How can my skin go over there right now and kick it and not come up with the cancers that you come up with? I don't want to hear all the other stuff. I'm asking the questions. Why? Because we don't get wrapped up into their little details about where they want us to go. What we do over here is we connect dots and we talk about stuff. Thank you, Gar. Thank you, Gar, for supporting the channel, baby. I'm going to read super chats here. The Lockhart Perspective. Thank you for keeping your show going. Your perspective is needed in this space. Thank you, Gar. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you. There you go, Black Spring. You know how your daddy say, put it down there where the cows can get it. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, since we over here love each other and we don't give a hoot about nothing that they do to cause division, what we do over here is we take what they put out there in the streets. Because if they didn't put it in the streets, you and I wouldn't know about it. We take what they done put out in the streets, we combine it. And after we combine it, we connect all the little dots. And then somebody comes behind me and they'll snip it on their live. They'll snip all the little frayed edges and ends that I may have missed. Okay. Right. And then somebody else will come in and put a little couple of 2 or 3 buttons. And here go the buttons. I found the buttons, Felicia. So that's what we do over here. We connect the dots. My question is, those folks are getting all of your money and my money that our government is allegedly saying that they're setting aside for those folks that are poor, downtrodden, right? But you really don't know where the money going. Just like we got all of that money that's going over to the other side of the world of some stuff that they are actually involved in right now, right? That's who's over there boxing and getting down ain't who you've been told that's boxing and getting down. But it's your money. It's your money. But you can't ask no questions. And if you try to connect dots, and people gonna look at you like you're crazy. No, we need to know. We need to understand. We need to understand how come our coins is going over yonder. And if we're going to give reparations to anybody that we feel has been done wrong, okay? Because here's my question: what was Hiroshima all about? Because we gave money. What was it really all about? Does anybody know? Why were we paying it? Why do we give people money? They hit us first and then we hit back? Wait a minute, let me ask you this. How many times has somebody ever hit you and then you hit them back and then you had to pay them for hitting them back because they hit you first? When you retaliated because it was self-defense. But now that you have retaliated in self-defense, it was only right for you to give money. It's only right that you pay. It's only right that you pay up. Right? No. Here's the deal. If you know you did wrong, United States, and you are going to make it a habit to pay people for the wrong that you did, then you need to pay everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. You need to go and find the folks that was dealing with, find Dominguez and go on out there and find the people that found the different parts of California. Huh? Going out there and since you guys gave, they cut big swaths of land apart in California. Okay. Like Carson, California. It became Carson because they took this portion of San Pedro all the way down and they cut and gave them some land and gave these people some land and they gave these Hispanics some land. Give money to everybody that you've done wrong, baby. Since you want us to spend the money right now and give it to everybody, United States, that you have done wrong, right? You gave it to the Japanese, okay? Now you done gave it to the Jewish folks that you had nothing to do with. As a matter of fact, you didn't have nothing to do with that, or did you? Did you? Aha. Did you? We giving money to everybody and their mama. Not only that, we have to put up the bill and have to prove all kinds of stuff. We have to do backflips if something happens, God forbid, to one of you guys in the chat, and you ever have to look up and go and get yourself some help for Social Security, disability. God forbid that you would ever have to have that. But do you realize that there are people coming from countries that have absolutely zilch to do with us? Nada, nothing, no way, Jose. And those folks are coming across the border illegally and they're immediately getting these forms of assistance. So my question is, no, we don't want to deal with all the other stuff. But what we do need to do is start asking the questions. Why are you giving our money away like X, Y, or Z? We don't say it loud enough and we ain't got nothing to hide. We're all law-abiding, tax-paying, much to my chagrin, tax-paying citizens. And the only reason why we paying them is because we don't feel like getting in an argument with them folk for their coins. Take your coins. You want your coins? Take your coins. You ain't coming bother me over no 15 cents. But my point is, what's the deal? What's the deal, Bill? What's the deal? That's a good question. But again, we got these folks that look like, they don't look like, that don't look like, baby, I don't care how much makeup you put on. You just ain't gonna ever look like something from that region over there. You just ain't gonna. All I got to say is, don't look to me like you nothing to do with nothing that's over yonder. But again, I digress. Let's look at a story that we did here the other day. We are going to play it because it belongs to us. So this is going to be the story that we're going to break down today because, baby, when I tell you I have been wanting to have this conversation with you guys, This is what we're going to be talking about right now today. Let me get over here to headlines, and we're going to talk about home skillet. We're going to talk about home skillet. We're going to talk about all of the distractions. We're going to talk about the distractions because it's the distractions that keep us distracted. Hey, talk about the corruption and the cover-ups. And this one is corruption with impunity. This is the one that we did the other day. We're going to go on ahead and take a look at that one. And I want us to just talk about it. We're going to, because it's ours, we can chat about it. We can talk about it. We can just play it and talk. All right. So here we go. This one is called Corruption with Impunity. Impunity. Let's go.
The House Ways and Means Committee on Thursday released devastating depositions detailing accounts of Biden corruption from 2 IRS whistleblowers who told lawmakers about the Justice Department's effort to block search warrants and cover up Hunter Biden's tax crime, which included attempt to evade or defeat tax, a felony, fraud or false statements, also a felony, and willful failure to file returns, supply information, or pay tax. Quote, these tax crimes cover an estimated $2.2 million in unreported tax on global income from Ukraine, Romania, and China totaling $17.3 million from 2014 to 2019. He also added that Mr. Biden personally received $8.3 million. An assistant U.S. attorney in Delaware working on Hunter Biden's case rejected a search warrant for Joe Biden's home in Delaware in 2020. A separate
got to talk about it. I got to show up. I got to say something because we're not going to let all this pass without talking about it. So here's the skinny. So this stuff was going on, as we already know about it, and it prevented people from being able to know all the facts before they decided to get up on the soapbox back in 2020, right? 20, whatever that year was when they did the voting. Because, you know, local, I deal with anything on this level anymore. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, Betty. Okay. So this cat has been taking money, and now they have proof that daddy was involved. So we're going to look at a couple of topics, a couple of things that you can exegete out of this story alone. So now the only reason why we know about this right now is because now they have an opportunity for them to install somebody else in 2024, right? Somebody else has the opportunity to come on in from the other side, allegedly. So here's what I think, which is what I'm sure, as smart as you guys are, you probably thought about as well. I believe that they are going to bring somebody else in from this particular camp. Why? Because now they're putting it all out there. And they know that they can't have this, whatever this puppet is, or this Muppet, or whatever this dude is that's running around that looks like this cat that looks nothing like the last cat that was in office with Obama. They listen, don't nobody age this way. This guy is aging oddly. Okay. Now, we all know that, yes, as people do get older, they may not look like they did when they was 12, 13, 14, but you can at least see some resemblance. This cat right here ain't the cat, period. He don't look nothing like the cat, nothing like the dude. All right. And I'm not talking about Quincy Jones, the dude. He don't look like nothing like the original dude. So now they're obviously going to bring somebody in to replace this cat. Now, I hope that it's not the hyena, because you know, they can decide that they don't want her to take his place. They can collectively, that the DNC, they can decide to put somebody else in there. They can, but nonetheless, I digress. So it'll be somebody, right? It'll be somebody. Close the door. It'll be somebody. But who? Somebody said it could be Big Mike. I don't know. That's what somebody said, that it could be Big Mike. I don't know. Somebody said it could be Oprah, for all we know, since she's the one that got this whole party started with Homeboy, with the original Homeboy, the one that I say that's in there right now. I'm going to get one of these flies. I'm telling you right now. Okay. That it is Homeboy could pop up. Big Mike could be. That's what they say. Could be Oprah. Could be a whole lot of different folks. Could be the cat from out there in California. Okay. But we do know that something is afoot. Because now they're throwing him up under the bus and letting his stuff be seen in public. Not to mention the fact the dude just got through saying, "Long live the Queen." And we already know what that's about. I hope y'all know what that's about. Okay. Let me go ahead and let this finish playing. Listen carefully.
Search warrant for Hunter Biden's storage locker was also blocked. Shapley confirmed to the prosecutors that Joe Biden met with officials from CEFC, a Chinese energy company that is effectively an arm of the Chinese Communist Party. On August 8, 2017, $5 million was wired from CEFC affiliated investment vehicle Northern International to a bank account for Hudson West, which spent the next year transferring $4,790,375 directly to Biden's firm, Owaska. The CEFC meeting at the Four Seasons referenced in the deposition may line up with an email found on Hunter Biden's laptop detailing a September 2017 meeting with CEFC officials on the 13th floor at the Four Seasons in Ireland. The whistleblowers also made mention of the fact that Joe and Hunter Biden threatened a Chinese business associate to, quote, pay up or else. Hunter Biden demanded payment and threatened Henry Zhou, a Chinese Communist Party official and a director of Harvest Fund Management, which is a firm that previously invested in Biden's firm, BHR Partners, a private investment fund founded in 2013, that is co-owned by the Bank of China. Quote, I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made hasn't been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand. And by now, I mean tonight. And see, if I get a call or a text from anyone involved other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I'll make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my directions. I'm sitting here waiting for the call with my father, closed quote. And there you have it. I want you to tell me down below in the comments what you think. Do you think that there is a two-tiered justice system, one for the common man and one for the higher-ups? And I'd also like to know if you think that this is an impeachable offense. Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to read each and every one of them.
Okay, and I do. I want to know right now that we're hanging out together right this second. Do you guys think that there is a two-tiered justice system? Or is it more than just 2 tiers? Is it 3 tiers, 4 tiers? How many tiers is it? Yeah. No, Mike. You know, they're doing something crazy to Mike. Mike, I can't see you here. And whenever I try to like or give a heart to one of your comments that you leave, it immediately takes it away. I've already called. I've already gone online and I've made the complaint. We're doing the chat back and forth with YouTube. For whatever reason, they prevent your comments from being seen. I don't even see you. Are we talking about Mike Garber? Because I don't even see him in the chat right now. All right. But they've been messing with him. So what I do from time to time, and I encourage each one of you guys to go to people's channels that you see. If they have content up, I do from time to time, I'll catch one of his videos and I'll watch it and I'll leave a comment there just so that he knows that I am there. And there are several people that you guys will be making comments to me. I told you guys before, somebody had a fit on me because I hadn't commented on something they said in the chat. And listen, with all the crap that I've been through recently, first off, I didn't even notice it. Second of all, they didn't show up because of what's going on. So that's that. And I apologize for it. Let's see here. Something over 7,000 U.S. flights delayed or canceled. Many in the Northeast as storms persist. Just broke. That's terrible. I do want to talk to you guys about the, before we leave, this is the last topic that we're going to talk about, maybe. But what about all these folks that billionaires allegedly got on an imploding, funny-looking submarine managed and directed by a joystick or one of those little toy things that my grandkids use to play their games. By the way, my grandson has adorned my head today with his little thingies. So that baby, here, grandmother, where are these? So I'm wearing that. Okay. So now, what do you guys think? Is there a 2-tier justice system? Is there 3 tiers? And do you think that any of the stuff that's going on right now is impeachable? You know why I say it is? Because if they're going to use the measuring stick that they used to impeach the former president, then to me, yes, what is going on right now is beyond impeachable. There's been impeachable stuff that's been going on since the day this cat took office, but that's me. And again, because I'm not for either person. Hey, Rachel, because I'm not for either person, my deal is, yeah, get them all. Like a Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Catch them all. Anyway, let's talk about this. All right. So now we got billionaires. Now we got The Simpsons. And now we have a story that's resurfacing from a couple of years ago dealing with Virgin Galactic. So now, the story is that Virgin Galactic, a couple of years back, had the opportunity and has now the opportunity for people to go to space, to go up in the wild blue yonder. First off, y'all know my feelings about quote unquote space. Y'all already know that. $450,000 and $150,000 deposit. So it's $450,000 that they're going to afford people the opportunity to go up high in the sky. in the beautiful balloon. Yeah, 450 grand. So let's get into that story because I want to look at that. I'm tripping on how, wait a minute, Obama and Biden lunch at the White House after a mysterious phone call 5 hours ago. Ooh, I might want to read this story. I don't know. But let's go on ahead and look at Virgin Galactic. Virgin Galactic, $450,000 to take you up and away. Yeah. It's an older story. So we're going to look at it. All right. Virgin Galactic delays the next crewed space launch to 2022. Let's just talk about it on the cuff for what it is. Let's just talk about it off the cuff about, for what it is. So let's talk about what happened. Because you guys see, I didn't even post anything that dealt with that whole story, dealing with the whole thing with the submersible. Because to me, it didn't seem to be normal. It didn't seem right. What to me we should have been talking about was the 700 people in Greece. Okay, the ship capsized. All right, let's get that. Dozens dead. So we're going to talk about that because, yeah, they want to take you up into space. They want you to believe that going down below is X, Y, or Z. But have you all noticed that now the attention has changed from now that they got you thinking that this is okay to talk about above our heads, all right? Because before, if you had seen anything or if anything had come from space or anything, they would come in the little black with the men in black and they would take you and zap you with a little flashlight, right? Yeah. Now you can talk about that because they've done full disclosure with the Pentagon, and now that they've told you that everything happened, Roswell could have been real, could have been Mulder, could have been. You could have had some, could have been some right stuff going on, could have been some truth to all of it. Now you can have that news. Now we're going underwater, but let me tell you something about that underwater baby. In the beginning, where did he divide the waters from the water? So there's a whole nother world under that water, baby. Whole nother world under that water. They have shifted their minds to the stuff that they know that they've created down to the stuff that's the real deal. And so they fabricated this wonderful story because I personally believe that it is not a real story. I believe that it's a piece of a real story, and I believe that's a lot deeper than what you think. Pardon the pun. Pun intended. Okay? I do. I believe that this whole submersible conversation is just too many pieces to this that ain't right. Too many. Because here's the deal. Okay, so let's just take it in the way my brain thinks. Let me tell you guys how my brain thinks. This is what my brain thinks. My brain thinks that a lot of people may have the opportunity to go down in the ocean and may not have to have all types of regulations, or maybe they don't have to have so many XYZs paid, or they don't have to have this amount of money to pay for this permit to take their submersible and go underwater. And maybe this particular situation is what they're going to use to make people who are going underneath the water, okay, without them knowing that they went, right? Just an expedition, right? Since you don't have any laws in the water, right? Who governs you in the water? If there were laws in the water, then you would not have all of these children being attacked and trafficked on these ships that get out there in the ocean. Huh? So now I believe that they're going to create even more restrictions from just regular folks with regular companies that want to go down below in the ocean. Now, there was a guy who did go down allegedly in the ocean, and he said that once he got to a certain place, and he was just speaking naturally. Some of you may know who this was. Said that, once they got down to a certain place, they saw an actual island or actual land in going down. You could go down, but you could actually see that there was actual islands in the ocean. They said that shortly after this guy disclosed this, that he was whacked. But my question is, could that be what it is? Is that they know what's really going on? When you think about the lost city of Atlantis, when you think about the implications of stuff that man does not know about, what are the implications of man going down below in the ocean and discovering things? What would happen up top, especially if the needy and the greedy that are ruling stuff has letter A, not allowed people to do it and not thought that anybody was going to do it, and now that they are, they want to really make sure that they're keeping their fingertips on them, or that they always knew something was down there. Maybe that's where some of them came from. I'm just saying. Since we're dealing with warlocks and wizards, don't throw stones at me. I'm just saying, maybe that they don't want anybody to know what's going on down there in the first place. Who's to say that sirens aren't real? Since it's a whole new world, being up under the sea is a whole new world. Who's to say that sirens are not real? Who's to say? Sirens. By sirens, I mean mermaids and hemmaids. And we're going to do something on the Lockhart perspective. I've already put some stuff together about sirens. And my brother Lee gave me an exceptional scripture, an exceptional biblical context dealing with sirens. Sirens or sirens, however you want to say it. So I believe that there's some stuff that's going on under the sea that they don't want anybody to really know about, or to be able to get down there to research and check stuff out themselves. Right? Because the one thing I want you guys to know is that every time they call things mythical stories, mythology, and all that other stuff, that oftentimes they're not mythical. Just saying, that's it. Okay, so I think that's really all I wanted to chat about. I think, I do want you guys to look at the story dealing with the 700 people, because to me, that seemed to be something serious, right? That seemed to me to be something very serious that they did not really focus on. Although people do know about it, I thought that that should have been something that people really did talk about. This is something that we really should have spoken of. And you guys, I don't know where these searches are coming from over here. Although those are pretty nice bathing suits, but that's not a search that maybe it's got something to do with the ocean. I don't know. All right. So Kalamata Greece. Is that the same thing as the Kalamata olives? Those olives are delish. If that's the same thing. Kalamata. I like Kalamata olives. All right. So let's see. Let me give you guys a fuller screen. Hopefully then this will go away. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Looks like she just gets bigger. Boo. Okay, so rescue workers transferred the bodies of dead migrants to refrigerated trucks as a major search continued that Thursday. This was on the 15th of June. Thursday, for possible survivors of a sea disaster in southern Greece. Hundreds of people are still feared missing. Now, to date, to my knowledge, it was 700 individuals who are now deceased. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are cutting up in that chat. I love it because, some of the stuff that you guys are saying is, true. So it goes on to say that as of the date of this story, at least 78 bodies have been recovered after a fishing boat crammed with migrants seeking to make it from Libya to Italy capsized and sank a day earlier in deep waters off the Greek coast. Another place that the United States shouldn't have had their hands, that caused all of the upheaval and all the uproar right now, today, is Libya. Had no business with our hands over there, but I guarantee you that the one that sits up high and looks down low is going to judge all, great and small, dealing with that topic, moving right the freak along. Rescuers. Okay. Rescuers saved 104 passengers, including Egyptians, Syrians, Pakistanis, Afghans, and Palestinians, but authorities fear that hundreds of others may have been trapped below deck. If confirmed, that would make the tragedy one of the worst ever recorded in the central Mediterranean. And yet we were talking only a week after that about some adult grown folks with billions in their pockets that decided that they wanted to get into a craft that could only hold 5 people and only could allow one person to sit with their legs stretched out, that was manned by a PlayStation controller. But I digress. Quote, the survivors are in a very difficult situation right now. They are in shock. This comes from Erasmia Oromania, the head of the United Nations Refugee Agency delegation. This is what this individual told the Associated Press after meeting the rescued migrants in a storage hangar in the southern part of Kalamata. Quote, they want to get in touch with their families to tell them they're okay, and they keep asking about the missing. Many have friends and relatives unaccounted for, closed quote. Greece declared 3 days of mourning, and politicians suspended campaigning for a general election on June 25th. Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission president, said that she was deeply saddened by the tragedy and promised to strengthen cooperation between European Union and nearby countries to try to further crack down on migrant smugglers. But human rights groups argue that the crackdown means migrants and refugees are being forced to take longer and more dangerous routes to reach safe countries. The search operation south of Greece's, I think this is Peloponnese, you guys have to forgive me for mispronouncing that, region failed to locate any more bodies or survivors overnight or Thursday. Now, this is where the boat sunk or capsized, obviously because it was filled to the brim with people. But you know what? As I start to read stories, let me tell you how my mind works. They'll have a phrase that they'll put in there, and all of a sudden it'll trigger something else in my mind, and I'll start connecting little pieces that may or may not be accurate, which is why I have to say allegedly. But do you think that it's possible that they could be telling us that maybe the reason why they focused on this other thing and told us that all these people capsized is because maybe they took those people and put them someplace else, or maybe they took a bevy of these folks that are falling off. Maybe they said it was 700 that ended up damaged or dead or murdered or whatever, however this happened allegedly, and that those people could actually be taken into literal slavery? It's just a question. It's not to say that it happened. I'm just saying, 700 people, and then we have a week later this other story that they're talking about something so freaking ridiculous, and I guarantee that there are going to be a lot of laws and rules and regulations that come out of that Simpsons planned story dealing with the PlayStation controller, okay? That whole cap implosion thing, okay? They just let a billionaire walk off is what happened. They got a billionaire. This is all allegedly. This is all for entertainment purposes. So now you got a billionaire and a cat and his son and a couple, one of the two people or whatever. And these people just probably purchased their way out of this life and moved over to another island someplace, because billionaires don't have that stupidity. I don't know of any idiot that would have billions and would look at that place and say, okay, let me go ahead on and ride this out. Let me get in here and ride with y'all. Yeah, let me get down here without anything that's sanctioned, without anything that's been safety checked. Oh, is that a PlayStation? weird looking steering wheel. Okay, so frankly, these cats could have rolled out, but how about this story was sort of pressed down a little bit, not as prevalent, because maybe these individuals were stolen. I mean, who's going to, and again, we're just talking. Who's to say that these people weren't just taken? Who's giving an account for them? Was there a manifest? How do we know there was 700? Maybe it was 400. Could it have been more? Could it have been less? I don't know. Let's look at a couple of y'all's comments over here. Let me get ready to get up out of here. I'm going to come off screen so I can give you guys your comments. Let me take this off. And we're going to start to read through your comments. I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate each and every one of you guys today, baby. I've missed you, babies. I've missed you, babies. Okay. Lee says 807 children. You guys can read some of the stuff because we don't want to talk about certain things on here because we know. All right. On a barge rescued yesterday. Send me that story, Lee Repass. Send me that story, baby. Let me see, can I find it before we leave here? Okay. Anything is possible, right, Amy? That's right. Okay, anything is possible. Hey, Tonette. Rachel. Oh, I like you got a little kitty cat there now. Bible says okay to eat crickets, grasshoppers, and locusts. Okay, thank you, Ann. Rescued by Navy SEALs. What else? Let's see. What are the comments we have here? Okay. It's all a smoke screen on both sides, says Miss Bliss. I want you guys to make sure that you please do me one gigantic favor, even though you may not have a penny to donate, because that's a lot of our situations right now. You know what's free, y'all? Hit that like button for me so that this gets picked up and put into the algorithm so that we can begin to start to talk to people again and get folks to come over so that we can shake a few people loose. So if you've not had the opportunity to do it thus far, please take a second, just come out, hit the like button, and that way you'll be able to have this counted as getting this into the algorithm so more people can come over. Also, I want you to make sure that you are still subscribed to the Lockhart Perspective on one side, because we are simulcasted right now, as well as Headlines with a Voice. Let's make sure that we are still subscribed, right? That you're subscribed and that you still have that notification bell hit, because that will also help us out a lot. All right, so Fifi. hey, Fifi, says Rachel Van Ziel. Okay, so the age of goddess, my name is a Sepra, a waste of money. Yes, that's right. That must be for that $450,000 that they were talking about, right? Yep, go lose your mind. Manifestations of Light says, no, thank you, says Amy. Says she does not want to spend any of that. No, follow Biden's instructions. FBI. Lee, you a mess. Robert Kaplan says, maybe some of that money is going to the Ukrainian Nazi party. You never, ever know. I'm going to tell you something. When you're dealing with money that's not your money, when you're dealing with money that is not your money, have you noticed how people cut up and act crazy when they're able to have, like I say, the land that's here, right? Okay, let's just go back thousands of years and let's just say that there was nothing roaming around here but the natives from this place, right? And then all of a sudden people learned that it existed, and so they couldn't always get over here the way that they wanted to, but then they were able to get over here. And then when they got over here, they decided they wanted to take this land, and now it's easy for the inhabitants of this land to lose the rights to the land because those who are in leadership never had a stake in the game. And so that's the reason why they can just parcel it off and give it all out the way that they're giving it, because they don't got a stake in the game. They don't got a stake in the land at all. It's not their land. It never was. Whenever you see somebody dealing with money so frivolously, that easy come, easy go money, like the dope boy money. Okay, let we real. Like the dope boy money, see the dope boys that get all the money back in the day, get all the money and it ain't their money. So they take the money, they're harming their community, but at the same time, they're taking the money and just blow the money. Why? Because they believe that easy come, keep coming, because it's not theirs. They got it with with an ill-gotten conscience, ill-gotten gain. All right, that's what's up. That is really what's up. So who wants to know and why? All right. We all know, Robert says. The Titanic wasn't the full story either at all. It never is. Oh, yikes. Winter Lake agrees with you. Okay. They tried to break the unspoken treaty. You never know. You never know. It must remain intact. Never know. But what do you guys think about Atlantis? Well, Atlantis is probably a pre-flood world. Leave them be. Oh my God. OMG, Nephilim. Yes. I heard about dome bases under the sea. Do you see that there are so many things? Listen, first of all, I believe that our existence, or this world, is so vast that we could never know everything. We could never know everything. And I think that it is the ego of those in power that would try to shove down the citizenry's throat the concept of this is it. This is as good as it gets. There is nothing outside of here. Whatever happened to Admiral Byrd? Didn't he go to Antarctica? And after he went, Didn't he come back and say X, Y, or Z in his memoirs, in his diary? And wasn't a lot of his diary missing? And then after we heard about X, Y, or Z, didn't they say, okay, everybody make a treaty? Can't nobody from your country, boo-boo the fool's country, or anywhere else go over there without the country's permission? I'm just saying. So now let's see. Oh, we got another news alert. The WEF praises Communist China. Klaus Schwab praises Communist China's achievements. Wants to learn from Premier's vision. I'm nosy. I got to see it. We will not let America's bishops be silent. Bishop be silent. Whatever. Klaus Schwab. Oh, we got to read the story before we go, you guys. We got to do it. We got to. We ain't been together in a minute. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Let's see what it says. There he goes. It's exactly my point that these son of a guns are still living, even though they've been around for many centuries. They are living exactly like the vampires and the Frankensteins of yesterday. That's how they look. That's how they be. This is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to terrorize everybody. Thank you for the super sticker, sister Betty. Thank you for supporting the channel, baby. Let's get down to the story, you guys. Let's get it. Oh, Lee says, eat the bugs. Yes, you're going to eat the bugs and you're going to like it. Okay, so the World Economic Forum chairman praised the oppressive communist nation, saying that it has made remarkable achievements in economy and social development and diplomacy and in many other areas. Klaus Schwab, the founder of the chairman of the globalist World Economic Forum, has once again praised China Communist Party for its achievements. During the opening speech at the WEF's Summer Davos taking place in Tianjin, China, Schwab spoke fondly of the CCP's second-ranking member, Li Qiang, who also took part in the event. I wonder if I could play this. Well, you guys are already blessing the channel. There's already been a couple of people who blessed the channel. And I think I could chance it. Because you know they're probably going to demonetize this. But if y'all hit that like button, maybe a lot more people will come. Maybe a lot more views will come. And so maybe, I don't know. I'm going to hit it. No, I don't think so. Because I don't know exactly where to go, but I can still read the story. Now, the WEF founder told Lee that we are eager to learn from your vision on China and the world. Premier Lee is the 8th premier of the People's Republic of China and a member of the Chinese Communist Party's Politburo Standing Committee, Schwab explained. Premier Lee took his office in March at China's National People's Congress at a critical moment when China adopted new COVID control measures and started to boost economic development, social dynamism. Anyway, social dynamism and the international cooperation, he continued. Schwab praised the communist country, something he has done multiple times before, saying that it has made remarkable achievements in economy, in social development and diplomacy, and in many other areas. The WEF founder noted that his organization has over 40 years of friendly and extensive partnership with China. They do everything we say. They take everything we want them to take. They do it all. They agree with us. Today, the second largest economy, he says, in the world, and stressed that the WEF will continue to fight fragmentation and strive for dialogue, understanding the collaboration as we stand for the future where nations have to work together for the collective well-being of humanity. We don't want you. You guys are all from another planet. I don't know what planet it is, but you're not from here. Anyway, let's continue. He continues with, we appreciated the long-term support from our Chinese friends, from many ministers who are here with us today as well. Thank you for your participation. He stated the CCP's vision for China and the world that Schwab was eager to learn from includes putting security as the most important issue in the hierarchy of priorities, as Lee, who took the stage after Schwab, stressed in his speech. Quote, as a responsible major country, China has all along stood firmly on the right side of history. And on the side of human progress, the Chinese premier claimed. A major part of China's security state is its social credit system, which they're constantly pushing over here. I don't know whether you guys noticed that or not, but has anybody noticed that your actual credit score has changed and that they have allowed a lot more things to matter as it relates to your credit score, which means they're trying to tell y'all something. They're trying to tell you, take all these little things, raise your credit score, because in a minute, something's going to happen. And if you down in the 400s, if you're down in the, God forbid, if you're down in the 500s, if you're down in the low 6s, you're going to be almost a zero. So they're trying to say, go ahead and get what you can, raise your score up as the best that you can, because in a minute, we're going to do something that's going to be the great equalizer, and it's only going to be two. It's going to be the very wealthy, and it's going to be very poor. And this credit score that you guys have got, that y'all been using and rocking, is going to be a large determining factor as to where you are. Just saying. Okay. So the credit system that punishes citizens, let me read that again. A major part of China's security state is its social credit system that punishes citizens for what the CCP deemed bad behavior by utilizing mass surveillance software like camera networks, facial recognition, that they got even at Walmart now, okay? At the checkout, self-checkout, a man was checking out his wine and it said, oh, don't worry about showing your ID to the chick. And I'm paraphrasing here. You pass, you're old, you're older than 21. How did the computer know that? Anyway. So the facial recognition and other biometric AI tools the Chinese government has set up an Orwellian system of mass surveillance and predictive policing, according to the International Consortium of Journalists. Moreover, the Chinese Communist government viciously persecutes ethnic and religious minorities, including Catholics and Muslim Uyghurs population. Now, Lee also addressed the COVID crisis, saying that COVID-19 will not be the last public health crisis the world faces, of course, because you and Klaus have made sure that it's some more going to come out. So, of course, you've got to say this. Allegedly. And he further stated that the global public health governance needs to be enhanced. In a recently published Insight report, the WEF admitted that digital IDs can facilitate the identification, surveillance, and persecution of individuals or groups, while still strongly enhancing the widespread and implementation of digital IDs and digital currencies under China's communist government, which appears to be a role model for Schwab. Oppression and persecution through digital surveillance are already a reality. Whew, wow. Well, I think we've seen enough. I think we've talked about a lot of stuff. Thank you so very much, Chris, for blessing the channel, baby. Ooh, I'm going to give you guys some music. Anyway, I tried. It's Dynamite. Thank you, Chris. So you guys, what do you think about all of this stuff? What do you think? It would appear to me that there's a lot of different stuff that's going on, and we're going to keep talking about it. We are going to keep talking about a lot of different stuff. And the reason why we're going to keep talking about a lot of different stuff is because I feel like it is so necessary. I want to thank Gore today for blessing the channel. Betty R., thank you for blessing and supporting the channel. And Chris, thank you for blessing and supporting the channel today. You guys are rock stars. Each and every one of you are. Even if you cannot give, which a lot of us cannot give financially right now today, right? Not everybody can hit that Cash App. Not everybody can do as these awesome folks have done today and given the super chats. But you can give a thumbs up. and you can share it on any of the platforms that you guys are a party to. So that way it helps it get in the algorithm, and that way more people can see it, and that way we can keep doing more. I can come and hang out a little bit more. Who, Lordy, babies. So here's the deal. We see everything that's going on. We don't get ourselves all tied up into it, because you have to remember, just like I just got through describing, dealing with the Batman, and you got the Riddler and his crew, you got the Joker and his crew, you got Darling the Catwoman and her crew, whoever. You got all these different factions. You got the little fat guy. You got all these different guys, right? So you got this bevy of bad guys to see who's going to rule the world. Basically, that's what it looks like to me. But we're not going to get tripped out about none of them, folks, because we already know who has our hope in the middle of his hand. And we ain't tripping on none of these people. But, baby, don't you know that every now and again we got to get together and talk about this stuff? We just got to. We got to chat. We got to put it together. We got to get our minds together. And we got to tell everybody what we truly and honestly think and believe about all of this stuff. So, again, I want to thank y'all for hanging out. I miss... Oh, what is this? The sun will rise tomorrow. Okay. Manifestations of light. Okay. So thank you guys. I want to thank all my mods for being here today. I want to thank Ronnie.d.Mann. I want to thank Rachel. I want to thank Amy. I want to thank everybody who came in today, all the mods, everybody who is assigned to the channel, who's already signed up. Thank you. Oh, we saw my brother Charlie today. Oh, I want to thank you for being here as well. You guys, make sure that if you've not already subscribed to the channel, that you do so. Make sure that if you have not already hit the like button, you do so. And then I want you guys to make sure that if you haven't caught a couple of the shows that we put up, any of the videos just most recently, you may want to thumb through and look, because we did put up a few videos over the past couple of weeks, and there will be more coming because we're not as busy right now. So we're going to have a lot of videos coming up on both sides, but especially I want everybody to look out for the one that we're going to be doing on the sirens. That will be, I'm not sure if we're going to do it all live, but we have done some recording of the history of sirens from way back all the way to now. And it does deal with some of these questions of what's going on under the sea. That's going to be on the Lockhart Perspective. Eventually, you guys, the channels will be merged, and that'll be that, because in order for me to really do this like I'm supposed to do this, I need to be in one house, because right now I'm like, got everything going on and this too. So we're going to have to put some stuff together. But anyway, you guys, I love each and every one of you. Black spring with autumn. Thank you for being here, sister. Hey, AZ Infidel, what's going on with you? Hi, AZ. Black spring with autumn, he says. Yes. I'm so happy that you guys are all here with us today. So we're going to get out of here now, y'all. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. Remember what we always say on any Felicia Lockhart LLC publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another. And until I see you again, I want you to make sure you take care of my friend, and that's you. But before you go ahead and take care of somebody else, I want you guys to stop, pause, take a minute, breathe, take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, ain't nobody else going to do it. Y'all already know I ain't lying. Y'all already know I ain't lying. Y'all know ain't nobody gonna take care of you. Ain't nobody gonna take care. Maybe you got some kids or something. Maybe you don't raise one or two of them really, really well, and they're gonna love on you and take care of you, and that's a good thing. But I want you to take care of yourselves, okay? So you guys be blessed.
I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping